Why does North Korea continue to perplex and agitate the US and our allies? It begins in 1948 with Kim Il-sung, a young revolutionary who will forge one of the most unique and isolated dictatorships on Earth. After World War II, two nations are arbitrarily born, divided at the 38th parallel, the Soviet-backed North and the US-backed South.
It's true that Kim Il-sung, he was a fighter. That's what he spent 10 years in Manchuria doing. And when he comes back to North Korea, he is fundamentally a revolutionary nationalist and not a communist. Ever since the army was formed in 1948, it's been the most powerful base of the Kim family's power, and it just dominates every aspect of North Korean society.
Kim will use the military to maintain a totalitarian grip on power. In June of 1950, in a bid to unify the peninsula, Kim's army invades the South. His army captures Seoul in 3 days. Fearing a communist takeover, US-led UN forces enter the Korean War. It will be a deadly affair on both sides.
There was no regard for civilian life. In North Korea, there were 8 or 9 million people at the start of the war, and they lost at least 2 million people. And about 70% of them were civilians.
After 3 years, the fighting ends. But the war shapes the North's political narrative.
It resulted in a universal hatred of the United States across North Korean society.
North Koreans believe a completely different view of what started the war and a completely different view of how it ended, in which Kim Il-sung led his troops to victory and vanquished the Americans and the South Koreans.
I always ask North Korean officials, how is it that if the U.S. started it, that it was the North that reached Seoul within 3 days? And they've rarely encountered a heretic like myself, and so they really, their eyes kind of go wide at some of these questions. I think often they don't realize that there are these incongruous bits of information that don't really fit into their worldview.
For North Koreans, the Korean War is all about an American power that is constantly out to seek to crush them.